It started around 4 months ago. After uploading my previous video and saying, "Now I don't play competitive sixes in TF2. Well, not yet at least, but whenever I see myself playing, the role I envision myself to be playing as is the roamer soldier." I began to start playing competitive sixes by playing a season in 𝙉𝙞𝙘𝙝𝙚, a tourney directed specifically towards new players. I signed up with a person named 𝙉𝙤𝙘𝙝𝙚, a fellow BA player whom I managed to get him hooked to TF2 a couple months earlier. And as the roster for my team was announced, I was streaming KBG at the time, and the coach for my team was actually checking out the roster and somehow found my channel. I really don't know how he even managed to find it, considering that I don't even publicly link my channel through Discord, and I don't even think he had any reason to even search up my name to begin with. And of course, something interesting happened. Out of these two, 𝙉𝙤𝙘𝙝𝙚 is the one that got my attention, due to, well, I didn't know who 𝙉𝙤 was at the time. I didn't think of it as much until I had the chance to kind of talk to him for a little while, where he did something quite interesting.
One more in here.
That's not him.
Oh
I don't think that's Aya, bro.
It's not a child.
It's a child.
I don't think that's Aya, bro.
And by that time, I did not even realize that this was just the beginning of many stupid encounters that I'm about to experience. After realizing and discovering that CJ kinda plays BA, I managed to run into a few more people in casual who seem to have BA characters as their profile pictures. Oh, it's this guy again. Hold up, let me check his profile. I had it open.
Mission begins in 30 seconds.
Is that Ui? That is. Of course, they're Indonesian. Oh god. And then Blue Archive again. Like it's just so common for some reason. I don't know why. Yo, it seems that I queued into a fairly, let's say, Chinese lobby, and I'm seeing a lot of BA PFPs here. There's like 𝙉𝙤𝙘𝙝𝙚, Reisa, and then there's Mika, and there's Eddie, and like the rest is just honestly like whatever. See, oh my god, brother, look at this profile, holy crap. Mika is practically just it's just Trinity. This person likes Trinity. And some weeks later, a couple of my teammates and other friends had the fun idea to queue up for casual. And one of those matches had a person in the enemy team named Nia. They had 𝙉𝙤 as their profile picture, and coincidentally I was queued up with 𝙉𝙤𝙘𝙝, a person that also had a 𝙉𝙤 profile picture. This was out of pure coincidence, as I don't even think anyone in my party during that time even expected any of that to even happen. Since that encounter, I had a lot of matches where I ran into a lot of people with BA PFPs. And as the days went by, my encounters grew more in numbers as I kept seeing a lot of people in my casual games with BA PFPs, or sometimes even using a student's name as their username. And around this time frame, a lot of BA and TF2 related videos started to pop up in my recommendations. One of those videos were made by 𝙉𝙤𝙘𝙝𝙚, whom I played with before. Or something like this video by Big Belly Bear 1907, yes, that's their name, where they referenced TF2 by doing the Meet the Team intro as a transition. Or the time that one of my older TF2 friends changed their profile picture into Hoshino, and at one point DM me that the people who I used to play vs Saxon Hale with were talking about my video in a Discord server. I decided to check it out since I was a bit curious, and yeah, he was kinda right. They were talking about my video. By this time, I kinda just realized that, oh yeah, there's a genuine overlap between these two games. Even somewhere like Twitter, where one of my followers who presents themselves to be just a BA player also plays TF2. And I think the only reason why I followed them back was the insanity that is this post they made a couple months ago. And with this many encounters and appearances, I simply couldn't even ignore it anymore. I mean, I keep finding and meeting people that play BA but also like TF2 at the same time. And with the niche rise of AFK bots in casual, some of those bots were actually decorated after Hikari, and I'm just baffled for that to even happen. With so many encounters, I just had the brilliant idea, the most genius decision that anyone could make, and that is to talk about it. Yeah, that's why you're watching this video. After encountering so many people, I started to take screenshots, record some footage of me recognizing them. Is your profile picture Mari, perhaps? That's awesome.
That's awesome. So cool.
Oh, they have a golden pen. And they have a Natsuko PFP. God, that's like a pretty crazy combo. Holy shit. And I also made a little list, compiled with people that I know who at least played TF2 and BA in a certain amount. And even if they don't touch TF2 that often anymore, at least they know about the game at a decent level in terms of knowledge you get through normal exposure to the things you can only learn in-game. Before I start going through this list though, I just want to mention something. Blue Archive players are everywhere. Is a sentence I've heard before, and I wouldn't say a lot of people refer to it, but I kinda can't see why they would say this because even outside of TF2, I managed to find some appearances like during this credits scene in a Better Watch TV video.
It was boring, so now I have to do it myself. Jay Springman, Rock Gremlin, Adam Coslin, 8-Ball Paul, Pepis Pepisovich, and
This
Ryan.
short from ZTT.
Kills along with the data. When I first hired him, I asked him what all do we need to buy to have a proper benchmarking setup.
Or hell, even a channel from a viewer who I didn't know likes TF2, that they even had an animation made in combination of the two games. If you look back inside the TF2 sphere, then we can also still find appearances of something that is related to BA in other places. Like for example, Solar Light. He doesn't play BA, but he did use some music from the game before. Or if you want a TF2 that does play BA, then look no further to Zesty Jesus. I wouldn't say he talks about it that much, but you kinda just know that he does play the game through the occasional posts you see on his Twitter, or the occasional times where he just casually mentions the game. Or maybe you want to see a BA creator who is currently slowly getting invested into TF2. Well, you'd be referring to Meliak, where a little while ago, a person named Antoine convinced Meli to play TF2. Although he didn't play much at first, soon enough he came back with a lot more to bring. And he seems to be having a lot of fun with it too.
30 seconds.
Alright, now back to the list. Some of these people might reappear in the list since some of these scenarios literally happened as I was writing this video. And without further ado, in a completely random order, Shadow. He was the first friend I have that plays BA and TF2. He used to be just a BA guy until I came into the picture and kinda just tagged along throughout his TF2 journey, although he doesn't play much nowadays, but he does still play. Vindela, Goober, Go Tactic, Ice, Hockey, Antoine, Uber. What are the odds that one of your favorite artists who obsessively draws Saki happens to also play TF2? And not only that, to be addicted to the game as much as I am seems pretty crazy to me. And I got to be good friends with him just because of TF2 and BA alone. Seizure, Heive, Kachamata_Konig, Bimo, Inoue, Shanlil, Meliak, Zensei, Nerdgear. The funny thing about Nerdgear is that one of his friends hosted a TF2 Wear server a couple months ago, and a bunch of BA creators also played in it. Fast forward around 1 or 2 months ago, I happened to be murking for another team in Gibbous Cup, and this was like after the season was over, so this was mostly just a scrim they were doing. And out of all odds, one of the players named Chand recognized me. And I asked her how and through what. And she mentioned that she was actually a friend of Nerdgear's. And to top it all off, she told me that the one who hosted that TF2 Wear server months ago was actually her. This honestly takes the cake in terms of the most surprising encounters because I wouldn't be able to even anticipate this kind of twist anytime ever. Tokibotan, Alice, Techno of Technohot by the way, The Broke, Samonautica, Miyaku, Lavender or Lemonades, and then Chairman. I met him through a pug server, and the way I discovered that he plays BA is, well...
For Shadow, but Astrim and me are like pedophiles in anime. You guys are pedophiles IRL, bro.
CJ31, Hirono Jr., Eog, Uda, Netherfrog, Scotch Balling, Circus is in town. There was actually this one video on YouTube somewhere where a guy was talking about spy movement and he was showcasing KZ maps only to show, yeah, I wonder who made that map. Frisian Khans, Reniac, Blitzer, Daniel Cade, Oreo, and Haru. There is actually one more person that I want to talk about, but I feel like this one deserves its own chapter due to it being the most interesting one out of all of the ones that I met. For the past month or so, I keep getting TF2 videos made by this person named Ruru TF2. Usually I would just kinda ignore these things, except what made me take notice is the fact that this guy puts Uzawa Risa in almost every of his thumbnails. Now, the video did catch my attention, but it didn't convince me that much, considering that BA characters appearing in random YouTube thumbnails happens every now and then. And once I watched the video, well... how do I say this? It's one of those .exe videos.
What? Man, come on, now get that pep off there.
Look man, I know that I don't like .exe videos, especially they can get a bit annoying, unfunny, stupid, and they're generally shit. But at least let me cut this guy some slack because it's not really that bad. Compared to the other .exe videos where the guy who makes it slaps every sound effect on every micro activity that happens in front of them, Ruru doesn't really do that. I mean, kind of. But either way, that's not really important. What's more important is the thing that he puts in the edits. I wouldn't say that the memes Ruru uses are all BA centered, but the ones that are BA, they're a bit in your face. Of course, not just the BA memes are related, the music that he uses are also mostly from BA. But that's just the video itself. How about if you look at the comment section, see what the people think of this. Oh wow. Damn, really? Okay, to my surprise, it seems that a lot of it is actually very positive. The positive reception these videos carry are what I think is the example of the overlap itself. You can really see people connect over it just because they happen to play the same damn game. And I think that in itself is very awesome. During the writing process, I always had a certain question lying around in my head. Why? Why even talk about this at all? Doesn't it seem to be all just a nothing burger? Perhaps it's just because I play in the region that has the highest count of BA players, so I'll just run into them way more often. And I can't really blame you for thinking that either. And my answer to it is as simple as just it's really fucking cool, man. You know that one picture where the guy just goes, "Holy shit, 2 cakes." That perfectly describes how I feel about this whole thing. It's freaking cool. Not a lot of times you see players from both sides of different communities being seen in one place or another. Either you see a BA player in a pub, or you see a TF2 player in a BA space. And not only that, there's a lot of shared interest you immediately get when you interact with a person who plays both games. Like for example, in pubs, if you were to run into a guy with a BA PFP and say something to them about it, they'll either ignore you or just have this small interaction with you because of that interest. And sure enough, at some point you add that guy into your friends list because you think they're cool. You know what that's called? Yeah, that's making fucking new friends, buddy. I remember when Uncle Dane mentioned something about TF2 players being more attracted to the micros. Well, this is that micro event. However, not everything is sunshine and rainbows because there is something that I really do want to talk about regarding Blue Archive.
Let's ask him. Okay.
What? Pedophile?
And Shadow. Ask him, Shadow. Soldier. Oh wait, no, it's 2 words. It's 2 words. Oh,
Oh my fucking god, dude. Oh my fucking god.
Pedo game.
Bro. What?
Sensei, I don't know. Pedo game.
Basically a game they play all the a lot.
But the hint, here's the hint, here's the hint.
Ah, there's a blue color. Yeah.
I like how Jack Axe only know because Dapper leaked my fucking channel, bro. Oh my fucking god. You
What?
fucking
What
ass,
channel?
bro.
Pedo game.
Don't hate on these guys since they actually kind of don't care that I play BA. And more or less, they act and say more weirder shit than I do, so. Anyway, it is obvious to everyone that Blue Archive has a very negative public reception. Like somebody can look at me, find out that I play Blue Archive, and the first thing they do is scream to everyone that I touch kids. And one of the only few reasons why people do this is because Blue Archive is indeed a pedo bait game. You know, the target demographic has made that very clear. In my case, I started playing Blue Archive because, oh, I thought it would be a fun game to play. And I stuck around because of those characters being the fun thing that I wanted. For example, 3 of these characters are my favorites. I like them because they either have that insane relatability or their writing just hits home. I mean, I don't mind the young petite look as I like some of the characters who have that trait, but it's not primarily my taste. Look, if some of these characters' ages got increased by like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years, I wouldn't really change my mind on anything. I would like them the same way. I don't mind the shit people say in this community. Okay, sometimes I do, but because to me, it doesn't really matter. But for some people, it does. There are people out there who live just to hate, live to just be an asshole and push their own agenda in any situation they can. And they'll make it their life mission on trying to pummel these people into the ground. All that for brownie points. From my own thoughts, the reason why Blue Archive has such a bad rep from the public eye is due to the fact that it is kept through degeneracy. Sometimes you just see people act pretty degenerately just for the sake of pushing away tourists. And when they're off the clock, they're just a normal person. Of course, it's not always the case, considering that a lot of these players are just degenerates by nature. And this doesn't help when lolicons in general are also seen in a pretty bad light. The gatekeeping in question is just the silver lining so people really won't see the bigger picture, because what lies behind the static noise that is the fandom is a game that I think is really worth my time. Although this may sound a bit weird for a lot of you, I genuinely think Blue Archive being gatekept through these means is not really a bad thing, because it really does filter out the kinds of people you really don't want to have in your community. Some other gacha games have it bad, where due to its mainstream status has attracted some insufferable know-it-alls when they've been only playing for a damn week. And knowing all of this, I went on continuing on making this video anyway. Why? Because I don't fucking care, man. You cannot forget that all of this is just other people's opinions. It's not an automatic guarantee that if you like this game, you'll immediately transform into a child diddler yourself. And I've totally encountered 3 people so far, and hopefully no more. The point is, despite all of this, I don't think me, you, or anyone who wants to enjoy themselves with a little bit of Blue Archive should really care about the court of public opinions. Just play the fucking game you want, man. It's not really that bad. And the people I've met through this game, although sometimes can be a bit questionable, they're all fine and dandy, and they're far out to be what people like to assume them to be. This all comes down from what I've seen, and honestly, this might be different from another person's view. But one of the main reasons why this even happens in the first place is because, as I said before, it's region-based. There are actually a lot of people who play BA that I keep forgetting that this game is actually semi-mainstream. But a lot of these players are dominantly located in Asia, either East Asia or in the Southeast. You do see a fair amount of players that are located somewhere like America or Europe, but that doesn't change the fact that there are a lot more players in Asia. Whenever I queue for casual, I'll always try to play in Singapore servers, with Hong Kong as a secondary if I'm not finding any servers. And that might contribute towards how much proof and documentation I have for this whole overlap. Another thing would be just that people are just more honest at showing what they like nowadays. Like, you won't be showing your interest publicly the way people are doing it now. Is that people have started to care less about it. Even though the harsh opinion towards BA still persists, the transparency in general develops as literally everyone at this point is watching anime and playing gacha games. Things like liking anime or something used to be a bit more niche. Nowadays, it's pretty much everywhere. And my last guess would be that TF2 and Blue Archive, especially in my case, are a bit similar in appeal. For instance, both games cast, whether it be TF2's 9 mercenaries or BA's countless students from different academies, all of them are flourished with their own unique personalities and the stories behind them. It's very character rich. or just the fact that the majority of the content you consume are mostly community made. BA and TF2 has a really strong community content space, whether it be talented animators, modders, or even artists. Either way, there are a lot of strong points that can be made, and some of these are just limited to what I'm able to come up with. And that's about it. Hey, what's up? It's been 5 months, hasn't it? I know that it took this long to make this video, but I have very reasonable and totally tolerable excuses to say here. One of the main reasons why this video took, well, this long is because I just got hooked into TF2 again. The moment I started playing competitive sixes is where everything kind of just started to get a bit addictive. Like, TF2 has gotten way much more fun than before. Like, before I started playing sixes, like, I only occasionally hopped onto TF2 every now and then. Like, not as often as I am right now. Like, I didn't pursue that much in terms of skill level, mechanics, and game sense and whatever. But right now, I am hooked as hell. I've played so many matches, and I've gotten like around 300 logs as I'm recording this, and I think that's completely insane for me. And another reason why this video got delayed by a couple months was because that I just slowly lost motivation towards doing this project. This video idea is kind of cool and unique and a bit niche, but it works. It's something new. In my case, like in my perspective, it is just something niche, and everything else feels like a bit too bland, or like I'm just not doing something different. I want to do something different, especially in the editing, because right now it feels a bit too flat. Maybe because I haven't edited in a while, maybe it's because I just lost motivation, who knows. I haven't figured that part myself out yet. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I know it took me like 5 months just for a subpar video. I would also like to thank the generous supporters from my Ko-Fi page. I didn't even expect anything when I announced that I have a Ko-Fi page now, and it's been very awesome to see that people came in to support. Another thing that I want to say is that Shori gave me like $100 out of pure generosity. Thank you so much, by the way. I did ask him if he wants, like, I don't know, like a custom message or something to be put in a video, and all he said to me was, subscribe to Inoue. Yeah, I think that's it. Again, thank you for watching, and I appreciate the people who supported me by just either going to Ko-Fi or by just watching this video. But yeah, I hope to see you all in the next video, and I hope to God it's not gonna be another 5 months.